I know I should just delete it, but I don't wanna. Hi and welcome to my channel. My name's Sarah and I love to talk about books. And today is that time of the week where I like to talk to you about what I've been reading, what I've been watching and what I've been getting up to. If you've seen my channel before, you will notice I've had quite the drastic hair change. I think I did warn you guys last week that I was wanting to make a big change. So I've chopped 10 inches off my hair, which I'm donating to the Little Princess Trust, which is a charity that makes wigs for children and young people who have lost their hair, predominantly I think due to cancer treatment, but it can be for any other medical reason. I've also got a little fundraiser that I don't expect anyone to put into, but if you do have a wee fiver to spare, then I would love it if you would. I'll put the link in the description box below. As you can see, I'm still getting to grips with styling it, but I love it. I haven't been brunette for quite a long time, and this is the darkest I've had it in probably about 15 years. And I just absolutely adore it. My hairdresser happens to be one of my best friends, so I do benefit from that part of our relationship. And yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving how free it makes me feel and how much more volume that I've got in it now that it's not got that extra 10 inches weighing it down. I really love it. It was also my birthday yesterday, so I'm now 37 and I feel a lot more comfortable with aging than I have done on my last two birthdays. So I think that's a really positive sign that my life is going in a good direction. I didn't do much. I just had a family meal and my mum had made me a cake. I also had people around at the weekend for Eurovision, which I'll get into in a little while. But one of my friends makes incredible cakes, and she not only made everyone cupcakes, but she also made a humongous chocolate cake as well. So needless to say, my healthy eating plans have gone out the window this week, but if you can't do that on your birthday, when can you? So anyway, what have I been reading? Well, I finished Mohsin Hamid's The Reluctant Fundamentalist. I really enjoyed this. I love the pace of the book. I love the way the story unfolded. This is told in one voice of a man in Lahore who had been an immigrant to America, had gone to Princeton, had landed himself quite a good, incredibly well-paying job, and was kind of starting a relationship with women. Then 9/11 happened. The situation for a man who looked like him in New York at that time wasn't great. He also had to witness his family back in Pakistan, experiencing the growing tensions in the region, and his new girlfriend had a mental health crisis, and so things weren't going great there either. And we find him a few years later. He's back in Lahore and he is talking to a stranger in a cafe. We are the stranger. He's talking to us. The whole story is told to us, and I really thought that was a powerful way to tell this story, because there are interjections, not from us, but by the man who's telling the story, where he will comment on something we're doing or us looking uncomfortable or something like that. And what I had suspected, I think, was what came to pass. But I say I think because the ending of this book, I can't tell if it was a stroke of genius or if it's just really annoys me, but there is a really ambiguous ending. I'll just leave it at that. I won't get into it any further, but yeah, I really enjoyed this book. And now currently I've got two books on the go, neither of which are a surprise because I've talked about them before. The first one is Snow in May by Kseniya Melnik, which is a series of short stories all linked by the fact that the people in them either live in or come from this town of Magadan, which is in the far northeast of Russia. It's where Stalin had his labor camps. And so far, I'm really enjoying it. I've had a story about a woman who's had to travel across Russia to try and get goods for her family, be that fresh fruit and vegetables which aren't found in the region, or other imports which were difficult to find at the time. I've read a story about a man who managed to make a good career for himself and had a family and emigrated to America, but it wasn't without its pitfalls, and he talks about that and how his friend ended up with a very different future. I think it's really interesting. It's written really well. I'm loving the view it's giving me into Russia so far. It seems to be kind of like 80s and 90s Russia, maybe a bit before that, but I know that the stories are told over a span of, I don't know, does it pin it down? I'm sure I read it was like 50 years, but I might be making that up. Yeah, really enjoying that. And then I have actually picked up the book my therapist wanted me to read because I've got my next appointment on Friday. I need to have it done by then. And so this is Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers. It is better. Well, no, I hadn't thought it wasn't going to be good. It's been helpful, and I have taken a lot of notes. I haven't done the exercises so far, just because they either aren't the sort of thing that I would do, or I haven't had the opportunity to. But I think I will take some good stuff away from this, and it's kind of made me think I should probably be reading a bit more self-help in general. It's not a genre that I go into very deeply, but maybe I should. And then next I will be going on to a NetGalley, which is Earthed by Rebecca Schiller. I hope I've got that right. If not, it'll be on the screen. And this is one I'm really excited to get to. I had wanted to read it before I saw it was on NetGalley for request, because I really want to read more about women at a certain time and certain point in their life. And also I want a bit more nature in my reading, and this book kind of brings that both together. So Rebecca, this is a memoir. Rebecca and her family moved to a small holding out in the countryside. It's always kind of been their dream. And it is good, but they do find it a lot harder than they had anticipated. And coincidentally, Rebecca's mental health really takes a dive, and as a way of healing, she focuses on the garden of the small holding, but also in delving into the history of the women and the women of the land and the house in which they now live, and learning about those. And I just think that sounds fascinating. I cannot wait to get to it. I think Mercedes over at Mercy's Bookish Musing was the first person I heard mention this book. I can't remember if she had enjoyed it or not, but whatever she said about it was enough to put it on my radar. So that's the bookish goodies. What have I been watching? Well, yes, I said I had some people round, taking advantage of the relaxed rules now here in Scotland around lockdown and things like that. And we watched Eurovision together. I was actually impressed by the quality of the acts in Eurovision this year. There was a lot of songs that I quite enjoyed, even if they aren't necessarily the music that I would choose to listen to. I actually didn't think the UK submission song, whatever you want to call it, I don't think that was that bad. I actually thought, I mean, it was cheesy as heck, but it's meant to be cheesy. It's the Eurovision Song Contest. I thought we were okay, but of course Eurovision is political, so we were the only country that ended up with nil point, which I thought was disgusting. And this is what kind of soured the fun for me, was how many points Israel managed to get. Yes, their song was good. Yes, their wee girl that was singing it, she was great. She hit her high note. She broke a record, blah, 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 blah. Let's just be honest here. That doesn't matter in Eurovision. What Israel is doing to Palestine is horrendous. And that so many countries decided to support them, because that's how it's viewed on the political stage. Support them by giving their entry votes was vile. And the fact that their song was called Set Me Free. yeah, so that was not cool. But aside from everything that was going on the telly, me and my friends had the best time. It was so good to have. That's the first time I have had people round for like a party or anything like that since I became single, and I was a little bit nervous. I don't know why. I guess I just worried I wouldn't be as fun on my own, but I was even more fun. Actually, everyone said what a great night it was. We just laughed the whole time, and it was just really nice to have people together. And I've got plans to do much more of that, particularly in the coming weeks, but I'm just so glad that we're getting to a stage, and hopefully we stay at the stage where we can be closer to the people in our lives. I'm currently watching two things that I hadn't even planned. Well, one of them was on my I'll watch that at some point list, but because I was watching things on the iPlayer and then it just kind of carried on and played me different shows, I've ended up watching two things. The Pursuit of Love, which I gather is about Nancy Mitford, who I don't know who that is. I feel I should know who that is, but I don't. But it's fab. It's a period drama set in kind of, I think, the 30s. Essentially about these two women. It's a coming of age story. They are cousins. They're really, really close, and one of them is just her whole life is spent in the pursuit of love. She seems to think that will bring her happiness and everything that she wants in life. And it doesn't work out that way. And it's really well done. It's period, but it brings in modern-ish music. So there's a lot of kind of glam rock that I've noticed so far, in the same way that Peaky Blinders brought in modern music, and I just think that's such a cool touch. It's such a way to elevate a period drama, which, that can be quite niche, but I just think it's really cool. So I'm enjoying that. I think it might only be 3 episodes, and I've only got 1 episode left, so that's nearly done. And then I also started watching Shrill, which I had meant to watch at some point because I read Lindy West's book by the same name last year. I thought it was really funny. I really enjoyed her style of comedy, but also her honesty in talking about the certain things in her life. And this is basically a fictionalized version of Lindy West's story that I can tell so far. It's really well acted. It's really funny. It's kind of like, and I never watched many of these, like many episodes of this, so I might be wrong, but it's given me vibes. It's like the girls, the Lena Dunham series, but with much more representation. So there are gay women in it, there are people of color, there are gay men in it. Like, it's what Girls should have been, but this is better that I'm seeing so far, so that's really good. And as for what I'm going to watch next, this is kind of looking a bit far in the future, but I found out that I talked a couple of weeks ago how I was really excited about the Cruella backstory film that was coming out, and it's going to be on Disney Plus, but you have to pay extra for it when it first comes out, but it's free to existing, like if you've got a Disney Plus account, from the 17th of August. So I'm very excited about that. So yeah, that's all my kind of bits and bobs this week. So yeah, like I said, it was my birthday yesterday, and I have been spoiled by my family in terms of books. There's definitely going to be an amazing book haul in June when I get around to filming that, which means I really need to up my reading game, because again, May has not been a great month for reading. I don't know what it is. In fact, I do know what it is. A lot of my reading time has been getting eaten into by this stupid game I'm playing on my phone. So normally, while I would read when I'm putting my son to bed, or I would read on my lunch break at work, I have been playing this stupid kind of hidden objects game on my phone. I'm quite addicted to it. I know I should just delete it, but I don't wanna. So I need to figure out some way of balancing that and getting my reading time back. And hopefully make June the month that I get my reading mojo back, my reading pace back, and actually start making a dent in this massive collection of books that I had wanted to get read this year. Although having said that, my next couple of weekends are quite chock-a-block, so there goes that reading time. This weekend I'm going out for the first time in, I think, before the pandemic. Literally the week before the UK went into lockdown, I went to a ball. One of my best friends' daughter is in the national cheer team, and they were going, well, they were meant to, it got cancelled due to COVID, but they were going to the Worlds in Florida, and this was a big fundraising ball and also a chance for them to kind of celebrate the fact they were going. And we got all dolled up, ball gowns, hair done, nails done, all of that stuff. And that was the last proper night out I had. So I am very excited to be having one this weekend. There's a few of us. We're going for dinner and then we're going out for drinks. So I've had my hair done. Hopefully I can style it a bit better for the weekend. Get my nails done on Thursday night. I just need to pick an outfit. I am so excited. It's going to be so good. And I will no doubt regret it the next day because I then have to take my son way up somewhere into the Highlands to have an activity day for his Cubs troop. So thankfully I'm not helping out at it. But yeah, I'm glad that due to COVID restrictions, I think everyone has to be out of the pub and everything by 10 o'clock. So at least I'll have a full night's sleep. I won't feel too rough the next day. But yeah, super excited about that. Super excited about getting some more reading done when I can fit it in. And yeah, just life is really good at the moment. And it feels really good to say that because I've had a really tough time with my mental health in the past, kind of particularly the past month. But things are looking up. They're looking up on the job front. They're looking up in how I feel about myself, how I feel about my whole situation. And yeah, so hopefully I can be a bit more of an active participant in the booktube community because I know I really haven't been pulling my weight in terms of commenting on videos and replying to comments and just being part of the community rather than just shouting into the void, which is what I've kind of done just to keep the content regular on my channel. But I'm really hoping that I can address that because I know I am being a bad booktuber. I'm so bad at booktubing at the moment that I actually forgot a big announcement that I was meant to make on Saturday. So fingers crossed, I will actually make it this coming Saturday. So look out for that when I will be sharing my TBR for June. I'm going to try and make it a realistic one given my current reading situation, but I'm excited to talk about new books as well. So until then, bye.